Okay, well, this is probably going to be a short one. I'm going to start sharing my screen and we can take a look at the outstanding RFCs. Let's see, so starting from the bottom here, we've got RFC for bill of materials work.
It looks like we have Emily and Ryan's approval on this, so I think it can probably be merged in.
Yep, this does look good. Okay, we can deal with the merge after this meeting. Next up, I'll skip over this Python one. I assume if there's anything left that this will get promoted to non-draft state. There is an RFC to retire the JVM kill agent. Anything to say on this?
If anyone has any last comments, get them in. I think we're looking forward to probably move forward with this week.
I'm going to go ahead and approve this in a second. My one outstanding comment here was that like some of these things that we'd be enabling in separate build packs, like different JVM flags, would work across all the JVMs we have now, because most of them are derivatives of OpenJDK, but they're not necessarily like spec features of the JVM. So you can imagine there being a JVM didn't work in. And since these build packs aren't like contributing new things, some of them that are described here, I, on some level, want to just roll this into the JVM build packs themselves, maybe as a feature of libjvm, because I think that would make sense. You wouldn't then end up in a situation where one of these component build packs is trying to set a flag that might not work depending on what the JVM is. But I think that that concern already applies to some of the build packs we have, like JMX and debug. And I'm very happy sort of like I don't think if we want to change that pattern in the Java build packs, I don't think we need to tie that change to this proposal, but maybe we should come back with another RFC to sort of think about like whether we want to roll a couple of these small JVM flag build packs just into the JVM build packs themselves.
Yeah, we had talked about that, and I kind of forgot about it, to be honest. But yeah, I do like that idea. It simplifies a lot of things. So.
Yeah, that was my only outstanding concern, which really isn't about the JVM kill stuff at all. It's like a concern about a pattern that we were already using. So we don't need to tie this to that.
All right. Last here in the list is this RFC about node installation build packs bill of materials.
Yeah, so this is specific to the Node.js language family build packs. And we are in the process of kind of changing the direction that we had originally described in this build pack. I think the goal here is that we want to use this CycloneDX bomb generation tool to generate a bill of materials in all of our build packs, like for npm install and yarn install, like any build packs that provide node modules. And also in the case where you have no package manager, but you still might want a bill of materials that contains information about all the node modules that are vendored in. So Arjun brought it to our attention that we can't just npm install this random CycloneDX tool because it won't work in an offline scenario. So we are pivoting a little bit now to, I think we will create a dependency in the dep server that it like contains all of this tool's like different modules that it has, and we will consume that in a separate build pack that runs before all of the start command build packs in the language family. there are definitely some alternatives, which I will definitely describe that we've considered, but I think going forward, this probably makes the most sense. So the RFC as it stands now doesn't capture our new plan, but we're in the process of updating that. So maybe next week we can go over it if people have questions. I kind of glossed over a lot in the like in the main description of the RFC or the pull request. There's a fat comment describing kind of our thought process there, which will be translated into like a nicely written RFC. So y'all can check that out if you're interested now.
Just curious, like how much time does it add to the build to run the bomb generation?
That's a really good question. We haven't like actually looked into it yet, and maybe that's something we should add to the RFC once we like actually have that. But I think the generation on all the examples we've run is like negligible. It takes like a couple seconds, if that.
Awesome. I was just thinking that if it's slow as part of this, we might want to include something to disable it. Like I think it should be on by default. Like we want these things to produce a secure bill of materials by default, but you can imagine like a dev situation where if it's slow enough, you'd want to be able to turn it off. But
yeah,
maybe that's irrelevant. Yeah.
I think that there should be a way to turn it off if you really don't want it. But yeah, that's a good point.
I think you could get away, especially the fact that we're going to be providing it as its own build pack. And then the expectation is that it would then run. You can just like omit the build pack from your build order or something along those lines if you didn't really want it. But a flag also for people who just want to use builders. Okay, anything else to say on this? Well, that gets us to the end of the RFCs. Is there anything else that appeared on the agenda while I was doing that? Doesn't look like it. Anything anyone wants to add last minute to the agenda?
I did stick something in future topics. I think. Yeah.
Oh. So you want to talk about this at the next meeting? Or you want to talk about it now?
This now? Yeah, I added to future topics like before this meeting.
I see.
The future is
didn't,
now.
It didn't get moved here.
Yep.
Okay.
It's very straightforward. Just somebody opened an issue on the website saying that our docs for how to basically how to create a build pack with Packet are not up to date and are therefore hard to use. And so I'm calling out to basically everybody in this room who has like used Packet to work on a build pack. If you feel like you want to write a thing, this would be a really great way to contribute to improving our docs. I don't think it would be very hard to significantly improve these docs. Like you could just start by making them accurate and change the structure 0. So yeah, just if this is interesting to you, you can like assign yourself to it and we'll accept a PR for it.
Awesome. All right then. So now I think we're at the bottom of the agenda. Is there anything last minute anyone wants to add? Doesn't sound like it. All right, folks, we'll call it here then. We'll see you all next week.